Hello guys, I hope you guys had a wonderful Wednesday and prepared for today, which is Thursday. Today we are going to do systems of inequalities. Last week we did systems of equations, so we'll tell you what the difference between the inequalities and the equations in just a moment. But your objective is scholars will be able to graph a system of inequalities and determine the solutions to the system graphically with at least 80% mastery. So before I go into this example that I have written here, I do want to let you know that a system means two or more. So if we have a system, that means we're talking about two or more equations or inequalities. In this case, we're saying two or more inequalities. Now, the difference between the equations and the inequalities is that we're going to use inequality symbols, which are greater than or less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. The equations is when we use an equal sign. Okay? So here I have two inequalities that I am going to graph on this coordinate plane, and then we'll talk about what the solutions are. So let's start with the blue line. I'm going to put it in blue. So my y-intercept here will be -2. So my first thing to do is to go ahead and graph the y-intercept. So I'm going to go down starting at 0, 1, 2, and I'm going to put a plot at -2. And then it looks like my slope is a -1. So remember, in front of the x, since there's not a number, it's an invisible 1. So that's a -1. So that means I'm going to go down 1 and then over to the right 1. So I'm going to start here and count down 1 and over to the right 1, and that will be my next plot. Now, in order to keep it to a trend to make sure that your line is straight, you can continue to go down 1 over 1 to the right 1. And then if you want to go up, you will go up 1 and then to the left 1. And that's how you will keep your line straight. Up 1 to the left 1, up 1 to the left 1, up 1 to the left 1. And that's how my line will be straight. Now, I am going to make this a solid line simply because I have an equal to sign here. So when you have an equal to sign, that means your line is going to be solid. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and draw a solid straight line. Okay. Now, I went ahead and graphed that one. So I am going to now graph my other line in green. My y-intercept is a +2, so I'm going to start at 0 and go 1, 2, and plot there. And then my slope is -5, so I'm going to go down -5. So I'm going to go down 5, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then over to the right 1. So it looks like it intersects right here. Alright, so I am going to now draw a straight line. And it is also going to be a solid line here because it is an n equal to. Now, when we're talking about solutions of a system of inequality, the solution will be the shaded area that they share in common. Alright, so if we look at the blue line, this is a less than. So remember, less than or equal to or less than, we're going to shade below the line. So if we're shading below the line, so that means I am going to shade below this blue line. Okay, and I'm going to shade it blue. So you see me coloring it in. And then for the green line, when you have greater than or greater than or equal to, that means we're going to shade above the line. So now I'm going to shade above the green line because this is above the green line. So this area right here is where all of the solution points for this system of inequality would lie. So if you had a point that was plotted right here, that is an outlier. That would not be a solution for this system of inequalities. And because these lines are solid, any points that are on this line would also be solutions of this inequality. So let's take a look and see what we could do here. So if I go over, this is 1, and then this is 1, 2, 3. So this is 1 comma negative 3. So that's x comma y. So the x value is 1, and then the y value is negative 3. I am going to put it into one of my inequalities. So for y, I'm going to put negative 3. I'm going to do the first one. It's less than or equal to negative 1x minus 2. Negative 3. And now I'm going to substitute x for 1 minus 2. Alright? I'm trying to see if negative 3 is less than or equal to, I'm sorry, you can't see. I'm trying to see if negative 3 is less than or equal to whatever's going to be over here. So negative 1 times 1 is negative 1 minus 2. Negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. So would this be a solution? Yes, because negative 3 is less than or equal to negative 3. So that's a check. Let's go ahead and check the other one. Alright, so the other one is y is greater than or equal to negative 5x plus 2. So I'm going to use the same ordered pair. So I'm going to substitute the y with negative 3. And the x with 1. And I'm trying to see if negative 3 is going to be greater than or equal to whatever is over here. So negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. Then we have plus 2. Negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. So this is also a solution. So that is a way that you can check to make sure that your solution set is correct. Alright, so let me give you one that you would actually have to first solve. So if we are looking at this problem here, (3x plus 2y) is greater than or equal to negative 2, and then x plus 2y is less than or equal to 2. And I'm going to draw my coordinate plane. 1, 2. Alright, so if you notice here, the first thing I'm going to need to do with this very first inequality, I need to solve for y to be able to graph it. So I'm going to go ahead and write this one down here. So 3x plus 2y is greater than or equal to negative 2. So I'm going to first solve for y, and I'm going to subtract 3x on both sides. So that'll be negative 3x minus 2. Now I need to divide both sides by a positive 2. So that will give me y is greater than or equal to negative 3 over 2x. And then negative 2 divided by positive 2 is going to be a negative 1. So this is my first new inequality. And now I need to solve for the second one. So now I'm going to have x plus 2y is less than 2. So I need to get y by itself. So now I have negative x plus 2. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So this gives me negative 1/2 x. 2 divided by 2 is plus 1. So now I have two new inequalities. So I'm going to go ahead and graph the purple one. My y-intercept is negative 1, so I'm going to come from 0 to negative 1. And then I'm going to go down 3 1, 2, 3, and over positive 2, 1, 2. And my line is going to be solid again because this is or equal to. Alright, and now for my second line, which is green, my intercept is positive 1, so I'm going to start here and go up 1. And my slope is negative 1 over 2, so I'm going to go down 1 and then over positive 2. 1, 2. And I am going to draw this line. So now, when I'm looking at my purple line, it's a greater than or equal to sign, so that means I have to shade above the purple line. I'm shading above the purple line. And then my green line is a less than or equal to, so that means I have to shade below the green line. So all of the solutions for this system of inequalities is right in between these two lines, and it also includes the points that are plotted on this line because the line is solid. If the line were dotted, then the points that are on the line would not be included in the solution set. So I'm just going to give you a graph to show you what I'm talking about. I'm not going to plot or go through the whole plotting thing, but this is what I mean. So if I had two lines, this is one, this black line that I'm dotting, and then I have another one that is going like this, okay? And I'm going to shade in this area. That means everything that is shaded in the green area, so all of the plotted points that would be in this green area here, that would be my solution set for these two lines. But whatever lands on this dotted line, on this dotted line and this dotted line, would not be included. Alright, so please make sure you log on to Delta Math and do your Delta Math problems, as well as your exit ticket. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Have a wonderful day. We have one more day after today of virtual learning. On Friday, you guys will have a quiz on Edulastic. As usual, you can use your videos and notes to make sure you take the quiz. But again, if you have any questions, please let me know, myself or Ms. Cruiser. We will be more than happy to help you. Have a wonderful day, and I love you the most. Bye.